What up, Horseman Nation? Coming to you live from the dungeon. Just working out a bit, trying to get ready for the playoff run. But we got a special guest coming in today, a four-time finalist himself, Mr. Colin Tyler. Call, first question to get things going. Quick, would you rather? Would you rather be Craig's golf partner for life or forced to listen to Bry's Spotify top 5 list? Hit us with it.
I figured there'd be a golf question somewhere in this, so let's address it right away. After all, I thought the 4 in Horseman was in reference to what the architect would yell after most of his tee shots. So, look, I do have Craig as a partner in an upcoming match, but the good thing is that he negotiated the strokes, so he's putting up the stakes, so that's on him. Would I prefer that to a lifetime full of POD, casting crows, and switchfoot, along with commercials? Who can say? But seeing as though I can play golf at more than just 8:57 specifically on a weekday on an odd day of the month, yeah, I think I'll just stick to podcasts.
Speaking of 2022 recaps, Call, let's hit us with a quick 4 stat line. Best claim of the year, worst GM, best stat that nobody knows, and finally hit us with the best recap to date.
All right, I'm trying to keep this under 4,000 words this year, so quick fire is probably the best way to do this. Best claim, funny enough, I think this can actually be the best and the worst claim of the season at the same time. Player in question, of course, drafted by Craig, $3, and it's not surprised he was cut even before a ball was snapped. That opened up the door for Loud to claim him, again before a ball was snapped, but didn't make it to week 2 on his roster. So just after that, it opened the door up for our main man, Tyler, and he was able to claim Seattle running back Kenneth Walker for $2. Currently, number 14 in the RBs, but he's been an absolute menace since week 5. So the compliment in this segment, that makes Ty the main man here. The worst GM. Wow. Well, I feel like this is free reign to fire shots at one manager in particular because he never takes part in these weekly activities. Probably won't even watch it. But this also assumes that we're actually talking about like our Rick Fantasy League on Flea Flicker. Because the actual act of being the worst GM is easily Kev. Because he's the only one that's logged back into the Sleeper app. Not just logged back in, he's made over 10 transactions to try and win the league that no one else is even paying attention to. Has guys on IR, just no one's touched anything since the draft. He still lost twice. What is going on? So that's definitely the scummiest GM move. But I think the question was actually about our actual league on Flea Flicker. So with Monty's poor draft, meager 9 moves, he's pretty much just wasted Nuke Hopkins, who's come back playing well. And you know what? It doesn't even talk about the $50 claim for Himes or $41 over the one other bid on him, who never even made it to his starting roster and was recently cut. So there you go. Monty, you're getting the worst GM, but Kev, it's you. Best stat from this season. I think it's pretty interesting. Mr. Wheeler Dealer, right? He's making buying, he's selling, he's doing whatever you want, but he's averaging under 100 points per week, and that hasn't been done since 2015 when a team went 0-13. So it's truly impressive. No transactions left, just 2 weeks to try and get out of that double-digit average. Good luck, sir, because that's actually impressive with how much you shake and bake. And the best 4-for-4 video so far this year. Well, honorable mention again, Craig, popular right now, but from the first half of your week 5 update, that was quite good and very blunt, very honest with you to all the recent ones that were at your estate. Very, very enjoyable, but it definitely has to go to the week 8 performance of Scott. Have to say, there's a lot of respect to the different outfits, the props, right? Even the different sets, and right? Just you have to respect that. And you know what? When it comes to Scott, all about showing respect. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, take F-T-C-T. Let's get you out of here with this one. Just one final question for the 4-time finalist. 4-time.
as a soccer aficionado and somebody who exemplifies health and exercise, can you give us any World Cup comparisons to the teams in the Rick League?
Today, I feel like a playoff team. Today, I feel like a contender. Today, some of you should feel like other World Cup teams. Well, the most obvious one is the victory by Saudi Arabia over Argentina. This was like week 3 when Craig was the 10th highest scorer of the week. It was a rare time for him to pick up a win against a current playoff team. No one saw that coming. And MBS for Saudi Arabia's victory is giving all Rolls Royces to his entire team. Well, I heard Craig is going to talk to his players, and if they're expecting a newborn, he's going to get them a puppy. The host nation, Qatar, it's a theocratic nation, and kind of like the governing body of this league, it's also ruled by someone who fancies himself ruling in the name of God, thinking he's all that, as he calls it, the architect. Another potential comparison, Germany, right? Impressive that they've actually lost 4 times in the finals, just like the Grit Grinders. The difference being Germany's gone on to win it a bunch of times. So clearly doesn't look good for the Grit Grinders not having been able to get over that hump, but maybe this is the year. Who knows? Another one, someone like Mitch, definitely there's mirrors of Uruguay, right? Won multiple titles kind of early on in this thing and pretty much been irrelevant since. Or how about Japan cleaning up after matches, or Cameroon just bringing that party atmosphere? It's a lot like Bry and Raj are just hoping that people recognize that they're a part of this too. We got Gav, who's actually in Qatar right now. I think what he said, not being able to have bacon reminds him of what the draft was like at Bell's house. And the same goes to the limiting of alcohol, right? That's a lot how Ty gets after he's had 2 drinks. So I think really though, if I'm to sum up the main comparison between the World Cup and our league, it's, there's only a few teams in each competition that can actually win it. And here we are again, only a few teams. Let's see what happens.